What? Good day. Good rising. I believe last time I checked, October the 15th, Tuesday. Welcome to this morning's episode 5, the Artful Dodgers Remedy Club. Where are you all? What? Let's go over here. Just had a dream, tell me something. I'd like you to be witness to this. Can I get a witness? I've got a witness. I've got one. A witness. Lindsay. Hello, sister. Good rising. I say that with a smile. I don't know why, but your energy brings a smile to my face. I hope I make you smile. I'm just looking at a message while you're dropping in. Good day, good rising. I've just had a dream. Did I dream? You dreamed about me. Who do you love? And who loves you? Personam is who loves you. Personam. For those that aren't like me and take a while to catch on, okay? Things in your face, right in your face, and it takes a dream. And it takes me in my dream to tell you in a video what's just happened. At some point last night, my dream state self has just pointed out to me, equity deals with the person, David. And you're given that in a word. I said, I know I am. It's called equity. He says, no, David, listen to yourself. I went, okay, I'll listen to myself. I don't listen to many. But I'll try and listen to myself. What have you got to tell me, David? He said, personam. He said, you have person am, yes? Do you not get it? Tell YouTube that equity and the person am, personam, is how it deals, and the private person. So, yeah, it was just weird. Not really that massive at all. Just words and dreams, and person am, equity, personam, persona, mask. Latin in the dreams. Help me. How are we? Tell me how you're feeling. If you don't know the format, I'd just like to hear from you, see what you're doing. I'm going to get into the emails and see what the vibe is on this Tuesday. Yes, Kev. All right, Jerry, you'll get a reply to that by dinner time in the next 3 hours. Quit main word. Easy Quinn, good rising to you, everybody. Did you see yesterday's cast? The weekend, I've given you some good data, information and references as to where we're going to be heading. I had a chat with a couple of brothers yesterday, and one of them has given me some information of which he's been seeking himself. He is as king. He is on a quest, questioning, a quest I on. Is asking questions, and the quest I is on with the question that I have. See the king, seeking to see the king's conscience. Very interesting is all I can say. So I have a busy day today. One of those jobs will be to articulate the information that was given to me yesterday and get back to you on that. We also had a chat about our pathway and our diversions and our doubling backs and the confusions and the offices and the principles and the Christian remedy and law being offered, and then looked at, put to one side, and then equity being looked at, equity being connected with the manuscripts of the Bible. We'll go Old Testament, not so much New Testament. Revelations are upon us indeed, so I'm not in a rush. My battle is that I'm a father. I had a court writ and got access to, under United Kingdom high courts there, barristers, 2 years. I'm allowed to see my blood. I'm a dad who's separated from his, sons. Yeah, they are sons, not daughters, that I sired. And because of the current default position of parents when they split, the mum, which seems right in some ways, the mum, maternal, whatnot, but mums don't have a voice. It's a male world. Women are only good for, this isn't my opinion, but great for having babies and housing us till we are ready to be born and birthed. Look at the women's job there. They're giving the realm, kings and queens, left, right, and centre, crowning and giving, creating entities, persons, and mans, and everything. So the mum, I sometimes sit here thinking I would argue that the female power is one of the stronger powers of this realm. I'd argue that the woman, men, give me a high five if you agree. You got a strong lady there who pulls you in line, who keeps you in check, who tells you, who knows you better than yourself, yeah? Behind every good and strong and successful man, I would argue there's an even bigger, stronger and more successful woman waiting to have a voice heard. So, I don't agree with how you've got into the legal realms and the High Privy Council there, writing into women the energies, the female force into law to get them, to be represented and heard. The suffragettes and burning of and equal rights, it was just another way to get tax income from the female forces that should have been at home, that could have been. Nature's place, there we go. Nature's place would assign you would be at home, man would be out hunting, mother, in nature's form, not me. I know we're all Billie Eilish, hail Satan, and swapping our bits and bobs, and we have chicks with and men with, and it's all got confused. But generally, when we go back to the order of, the sanctity, the order of the universe and the immovable laws, we have a male and a negative. So it's interesting. The yin and the yang say equal, opposites are balanced, but I'll leave it at that. I want questions from you. How are you doing? What is your concern? There is no advice, as always. It's just an open chat. I'd like to strengthen the family and give out my opinion and yours as well, collectively, as man. So here we are, an hour. We'll go to 10:30. Thank you for joining. To the 9 that are here, I'm happy. I'm positive. I've no liquidity. Looking for options. Yesterday was a busy day. I had a lot to do on a Monday. I had the weekend off. I fried myself last week. I am going to be finishing off documents, and this 105-page self-initiate's guide to trust is going to be the work up to this point of my life. It will be made public eventually, but at the minute I'm going to make sure it stands and does its job, and then we'll get it double checked. Punctuation, grammar, everything to do with the trust and equity. I'll get a few of the fam to have a look at, and then we'll be releasing very soon, along with the key competence. I'll be touching base. I don't like that saying. I'll be having a chat. We're not military. There'll be no basing and touching a G-star. Looking at this, I don't know, the grading tool and how we're going to get that to go live through these systems and forms and whatnot input we've got for the .com. So the officer agent interaction, I'm eager to get that live and get some of the feedback from that, and I will look at community support with your community. You can have this standalone officer agent interaction emailed to you. I believe it's under 25 megabytes, and that's all open source and free. Our interactions and presentations, and then the actual grading tool for the key competence. That will be done this week. So I've touched base with Smithy, Steve, Pete, a few of the others. All is well. What else have we got? What are you telling me? It's you telling me on this one. Hello, John. Jack and the Beanstalk. The film along with the two heads. All right. See you later, Jerry. Much love. Can anyone tell me why we Scots still make phonics like an Egyptian, like new or new and na and no and so on? Thank you, Quinn. Yes, I. Princess of Scotcha is what I brought to you. I didn't find that from another channel. I found a Nubian banished princess. When I was researching Celtic and Gaelic languages, Quinn, I was in Ireland physically, historically, continuum-wise, and I was looking at Hanlons and Southern and Northern Ireland, the UK control, the agreement. I was looking at trusts and the Good Friday Agreement. That was a trust, all right, an agreement, but diverting. And Druids, runestones, language, there we go, Celtic and Gaelic, and I was looking at the comparisons, and lo and behold, there's Druids that have Irish Druids recorded some historical notes and records of. And I was like, imagine that, Irish Druids telling you about an Egyptian princess ending up in Scotland. And also, furthermore, the red-haired giants of Kandahar. If you search them, Quinn, get ready. I warn you now, it's quite intense. And the red head of Sumer and the blue eye. So blue eye and red hair genetically. And I'll also link the correct title of Darwin's Origin of Species in Darwin's on the Selection and Origins of the Species. Something that's the correct title, not Darwin's Selection Origin of the Species. It's Charles Darwin on the Selection of the something Origin of Species. Blah blah blah. And so in that load of bull in itself there. You've got his ways of looking at how things have evolved, and you've got these genes and chromosomes and lineages going way back to the Sumer with the red hair and the blue eyes, linking to Egypt, Iraq, Persia, and so forth, and then ending up over there, up in Scotland. So if you go to like Ancestry and DNA and research, you will find that there is a lot of English, Scottish, Welsh, and somewhat Irish that have more DNA, in their blood of Egyptian than we do Anglo. We're all here going, we're white Anglo-Saxon Protestants defending the good land of the UK, as mad as that is. No one's actually English. A lot of French, Normandy, Vikings, etc. Coming over, Spanish Inquisitions, all of the invasions, etc. And nowadays, 2000, our blood has got a lot more Egyptian DNA than English. So yes, Quinn, very, very interesting. Things that have been hidden. Comes in like with Tartaria type stuff, really. Deleted history. So that's all I've got. I'm out. Can't chat. Lux is darning a pair of winter ski socks, but it's all good. Oh, wow. Darning. Here we are going to proofs in January. Okay. Doric. I don't know what Doric means. Dictionary of Pioneer. Pioneer DJs. Pioneers. What's that? All right, John. Syria. Okay, Quinn. Great info. The world is immense, brother. The world is immense. So I'm not really getting many. I want this is the thing when you leave Facebook. It's got everybody's on it. Like everybody's on Tube to some extent, and I need to get off this and find an independent outlet streaming revenue. Genuine nice place for us. That's holding videos though is a massive game. So this is why no one's really jumping at it, because it's quite a big lose. Hosting millions and millions of terabytes of other people's data for free. It's not much business model there, but I'm anxious to find out at this time of year. We'll continue this until it picks up. I'm going to see it through. Just want to know how things are. Your rights, our rights being looked at. Do we need to intervene? Is everything going smoothly? Are you happy? Do you feel secure and safe? We have an impending crossover point. I know what time of the year it is. We have 15, middle of October, wow, the Oct. I'll continue on. I'm applying for I'm not going into management anymore with what we've got going off. I'm just taking a standard voluntary servitude position until I get this paperwork ready. I can't live on fresh air. I'm not going to apply for international budget, effectively community grants and so forth. When I say hello, I want to say hello as a Christian conscientious objector, in the realm. I'm not saying, that everybody needs to follow this. But my research and discovery, has brought me to the fact that bondage has been done by the Catholicism, the nation itself, and Britannia, United Kingdom is Christian. When you go to a civil participation venue or a higher court here, you will be given a Bible to swear on, a crown copyrighted, maybe a KJV, and we found there are 3 versions of the Bible here, which doesn't help things. An Old Testament, a New Testament, 3 versions. There's more than 3, all right, yeah, but 3 main that we focused upon whilst we're looking at Admiralty, Maritime, UCC, ecclesiastical, common law, trust, equity, all that mixed in. We found the governance of judges, judgeship, lordship, township, authorship, all of these ships, authority, and the books there. Kirk, Scotland, Kirk, wow, Captain, Kirk, church, the first church, Kirk, so Scottish, looking at that, and it's brought us to this point here, so it is an interesting trip, let me tell you. I'm just trying to get some comments up. Let me see what's happening here. We've been on a journey and we've had to look everywhere because people have looked and they haven't looked properly, or they've looked and have not seen. So we've had to go right back to the original function of, and then come back to. So there will be, rest assured, I have a backup if there is no unbonding and entering into the kingdom of heaven. Seek and ye shall find. Seeking as king, the question, quest I am on. All right, that sentence there in itself, the person is seeking equity. The mask is off, and we have some very, very, very good news. I'm not going to be a fool and just go Blair and tell you, because we've been to several possible doors and we've looked at swapping the box. When asked, is that your final answer? Would you like to swap the box? Ring the audience, ask a friend, or go for broke? So forgive me while I just double check this craziness. I'd like you to share and let your fam know. I'd like to get new initiates. That's why it says splspro.com. That's why it's like this. Not because I'm trying to hide from anybody. I've told you who I am. You have my face. You have my audio signature. To my phonetical ID. I'm looking to build it up. I'm a loving guy. I'm a bit of an idiot at times. We have some powerful tools. We have truth, not the truth. We have truth. We have a big family. We have a great potential. We've made a few judges run off. We've discharged. We're getting to the point where we need to be. I don't know if this is something that is going against the consensus, the feeling of you, or I don't know if this is something that you want. But if somebody tells you you've got a debt and you owe a debt, then who is you and what is a debt? That's where we begin. I am not you. Okay, you are not you. You are 3 things at any one time. You would be legal. That's the YOU on a letter. When you read, you must pay. You is not David. You is not John. You is not Quinn. You is not Jerry. You is not, anybody. You is ambiguous. All right. So example would be in a courtroom. Hello there, judge. Are you talking to me? Yes, I'm talking to you. Okay, from now on, we will accept that my name is now me. That come from a brother called, a conversation with a brother called Graham, maybe. Wordplay. Step into the dock. I cannot hear you until you step into the dock. I'm sorry, my honour, but every time man steps into the dock, he gets seasick. Little tricks of the traps there. But the Scottish Rite, yeah, it goes hand in hand with the York Rite. New York, America. Where's the stock exchange? Where's the Bond Street and the London Stock Exchange? And then you've got a New York Stock Exchange, London Bond Street Stock Exchange. 2 main ones where the Twin Towers trade centres. Okay, RIP to those poor little souls. So that's interesting. I like the way you say that. The Scottish Rite, that goes in with the York Rite. The York Rite is up top. Look at York. Look at the Masonic linkages and whatnot's up there. Interesting. I don't know what you meant by Scottish Rite, but I'll add to that. Yeah, so going back to, I'd like you to share this with your family, loved ones. I'm looking for new initiates. Yes, we'd like to protect. We're not telling you to go out and fight. We're not telling you to go out and bang pans. We're telling you we know some stuff. We'd like to share it with you. So we've had some successes. We've got videos. We've got testimonials. We've got the evidences. We've got the research. Now we've got the citations, and we're about to put the nitrous on whilst we're in the jet stream, dare I say. This man makes the Fast and the Furious look like a snail. All right, so going out to Fast and Furious, nitrous oxide, red hot block, you know, rev range ratio, full red line, maximum fans. We send sentences into courtrooms like the United Kingdom sends soldiers into battle. All right, like the UN sends orders out into the seas of commerce. That's what we do here. We do it honourably, we do it non-vexatiously, and we do it with your love and protection. We are not oathed to anybody. I am not licensed. I'm not, here to bring you false promises. All I'm going to do is tell you what's what, and what you'll find out. We're not criminals. I'm not to be assumed. And yes, I'd like you to share. We'd like to pick it up the pace. I'm a bit worried about what may be happening, and if rights and obligations and duties are going to be adhered to, and if they're not, then we'd like to help oversee and manage. And I'd like to independently report the crossover of this wonderful time that is before us. That would be Hallows Eve, simultaneously with Brexit. Simultaneously, probably within the election, shortly followed after by the November the 5th, Guy Fawkes and all of that buffoonery that we celebrate having a parliamentary governance and persons and citizens, and we give hurrahs for that non de jure stronghold that are actually trustees standing there as beneficiaries, usurping and subjugating us through the subrogation of the civil enforcement, civil secular divided Roman pagan club that we have all signed up to. Through non-disclosure, we are exiting the UK, and we are going to find back home terra firma. This is also simultaneously being able to be helped to others across continents. If you have I don't know what you'd call it there, an identity, okay, you have a name, you have an insurance number given to you by an international commodity corps like the IMF, you have a passport, a port pass, a driving license, and in fact a birth certificate, and this message needs to go out to you as well, fam. So I'd like to pick up internationally to that Indonesian scribe that said hello the other day. It was Jakarta. I remembered that because it was in a track. Joey Negro, I believe, was the artist. Jakarta, American Dream. That's going out to Indonesia scribe that come on the other day and said hello. I was talking to a lady that wanted to know law called Debbie, and she was Indonesian from Jakarta. And I was going to go over and bring the word, but it never happened. Pipe dreams again. Comments, please. Talk to me. Judge can never speak. It's a speechless person. Yes, I can never speak. John, you need to explain. I know what you mean, but others won't. They'll be like, what? Clearly he can. Nobody died. Deed of breathing. Die breathing is now deed of breathing. Is that you? Is that you still? Easy now. So, I'm going to crack on. Emails for today. We've had half an hour. I'll give you another half an hour more. Give me anything that you'd like to ask me, and then I'll do my best. Entertain you, just like the man Robbie said. I'd like some endorsement, some benefactors, some sponsorship. If you've got an estate and you've got no debts, or your family's got something, here's something interesting. I'm being approached by one's family members, brothers and sisters, who have got loved ones in social housing care. They are paying £700 a week for social housing care. These loved ones are left in a bed are not fed properly. The quality of food is rubbish. The times of being fed and whatnot are, hard to keep to. They are rushed, and it's very, very commercial. There is no love. There is no, these are people's grandmas and granddads, and they're being treated like pallets, boxes, commercial commodities. 700 large a week. That's £100 a day to keep them on average, and I'm being fed stories, reported, actual facts, not stories, first-hand knowledge that these places are now doing whatever, and how much money they're making, and I'm not going to get into all of this. I'd like your reports and stories and your first-hand knowledge from you to me about care homes and what go on. £700 a week. If you have property, mortgage-free, grandma and granddad, me and you later in our lives, that's who grandma and granddad is. Hello, okay? So you're not grandma and granddad yet, but you are going to be. Now, grandma and granddad are both in a residential care home, and there's a property, an asset, and it's paid, and it's mortgage-free. There's no charges. It's been like that for some time, and when the money runs out to pay for the care home, that 700 quid, 350 is met by half of it is met. It should all be paid for. They're old pensioners, or this should be in the universal basic income that we talked about, Jeremy and others. So when you're thinking about this is other things to bring in. If you've got now for me, let me bring you this disgusting story. And what goes off. So you got an estate, and you got property, and you need care, and the care system, the NHS, the trust, and the establishment will look at it and say, oh, okay, we're funding you, but you've got assets there. You've worked your life, you've sweated, you've paid your taxes, your sugar tax, your value-added tax, your fees, your fines, your forfeits, your interest, your inheritance tax, and everything. And now you got sick. You'd think you'd be looked after, a bit like a soldier coming back from the war. Help for heroes. If they're not going to help the mans that they send and blow up, that come back, dismembered and fractured, and they leave them on the street to beg and die, then what do you think they're going to do with the good slaves, the citizens that you've signed up to be, that you're assumed to be, that you think you might have some rights and property and entitlement? No, you don't. You're sinners, and you're classed as Gentiles, not by me, but by this system. So this system will take that house, those bricks and mortar, which is equivalent to Churchill on the Fiver. We've given our blood, our sweat, our tears, and toil. Now, we'll take the houses, and then give you a substandard way of life, beat you up, abuse you, and take your estate to pay for something which you should be given. Now, hear me out. That's why I'm here. That's just one tiny little thing in our fabric of society that these trustees have, when I say usurping and taking, we can stand here and say, so we have these acts and public acts and finance acts and 88 this and whatever that, but it means nothing. It's public secular Westminster codified law, which is glitter on a poo. All right, that's what it is. Glitter on a poo, and it's in the common law area. And we got the supersession of equity, and the king seeking on the quest I am on, asking the quest I ons, as king seeking, and compelling with your dispelling. And that's the basic simple beauty premise of this. And if this ends up protecting the whole landmass and nation, then it needs to be given out for free. But it can't be given out for free until it's tested and tried, and it can be called a winner. I can put case law to my heart's content, and lords and knights and references and cornces and everything else and banks, and give it to you. But it comes down to one thing. If I get it wrong, you're going to shoot me down. If I get it right, I'm going to be the best thing since sliced bread. So I'm in that seat. You are not. So hear me out. I will do my best, and I'm honour bound. But as for taking my granddad and grandmas and these families, my families, you are my family, I am your family. Egyptian blood, Anglo blood, Francais blood, we're of this landmass, and we're all together. White, darker skinned, I don't like the black one, but all of the darker skinned that aren't, white, and it's our land, and it's our duty, it's our obligation, and it's our property, it's our souls, it's our rights, it's our voice. And if we don't make a voice, then they'll carry on. And I for one, I'm getting some harrowing stories lives being turned upside down by what? By trustees that have moved the ball and become self-appointed authoritarians and are chopping us down legally like, quicker than lemmings going off a cliff. So I'm disgusted by that we would work and you would retire even at 70. So you work all your life and you just finish paying your house off. You get sick, you go in a care home and they sell your house. What does that sound like? And you moan about £12 for, a donation to a trust to get educated, and you're in a system. Facebook is the only website that I know of that is legally allowed to stand there day after day and allow just the worst energies you could. If this ever happened on another server, it would be shut down, it would be investigated, and you would be imprisoned. If I made a website and I took your data and I had all these scandals and I was doing what was going off here and I had people with groups on that was effectively ignoring rights, and when we have rights ignored, everyone, what do we say? You say you're tantamount to terrorism. You ignore a right is property. You ignore a property, which is the right, then property, you're terrorising. So therefore, by default, of the action you've done, UK Laws and Secrets is run by a terrorist called Gary. I've reported him. Nothing's been done. There are other groups out there. There are sexually deviant ones out there. There are liars out there. There are real nasty energies out there. You report folk and nothing hardly gets done from what I can see and what I've done. If UK Laws and Secrets is still on Facebook, I said I'd get it shut down. That is what I'm going to do. Message to Gary of the Davis. Equity knows no time. It delights. First in time is first in line. I am going to see this through. And, I'm just saying, there's no other place. So it just makes me sick that there's this partnership, this nudge, wink, wink going off. And it's disgusting. Houses being taken from old folk. So, that's us. When we get to 70, you've just paid your mortgage. Sorry, but, if we don't get the way we're planning on going, and, we've had to suck it up and be a good slave, and it comes to retirement, and now, all of a sudden, you've got to, you've got to go in a care home, and now you've got to go in a care home, you've got to sell your house that you've only just finished paying for, that you paid for, that it's just madness, absolute insanity. That's why I'm here, to do these kind of chats. Do you get me? Think about that and give me your opinion, yeah? If that was you. Now I'm going to read your comments and calm down. Nice one, Barn. So, we can say, Barn, it's you are one of the two that I have given the documents to. So it's no secret, but it is private for the time being. It's private to Barnster 48, and it's he's going to be reviewing with the Queen, this brother and his Queen, information and documents, and we're going to bring it out to you later. So other people have done this, and you can go out and find Trust Technology right now. I don't know if it's going to be the same, comparable to what we see it and how we see it, but it is all the same, and it operates the same on every core all around the world, all right? So it doesn't change, a bit like your UCC. The Uniform Commercial Code operates the same. It's uniform like the officer's uniform. It's standard. It's standard across the seas of commercial enterprise on this realm. It's standard in the seas of space, waters of space. So they say. So equity, is the governance of. Equity is like your ruling, area. Whenever there is a trust created, equity is it's like it's there. It comes with it hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. So your trust is your technology and your deeds and your expressions and your setup, beneficiary, trustee, set law, and then the equity is the governance of this trust law and the principles of equity, as I've brought to you. They kick butt if you use them, and they will help you, and it's infallible. So, there is a way out. It's been hidden, and the only reason it's been hidden is because it protects the king. And you are all kings. I will tell you now, I am the idiot. I am the court jester, all right? And I stand before you as the monkey, bringing you this, all right? So why am I standing you as the court jester? Tasmanian devil, monkey magic, yes. You see that story of the monkey. He come down from heaven and he was in a cosmic egg. He hatched and he met Tripitaka and they went on a quest for the scriptures. What? I love that business, that program. Smithy is not Tribitaka. He will beat me for putting that one out there. He's not a violent man, but he's got some hands that are like onions and they'll make you cry, is what he said. But fantastic, you know, things when you feel down and it's all morbid and vampire slayer type stuff, then we have this ability to to lighten the mood, and I stand before you as the court jester, as a mere monkey, amongst the others that have been here for millennia doing this, and let's have it, I've got a job to do. Remedy at the High Court Chancery Department or not, we're busting out with or without them, okay? It's not, we don't need that access is going to be given. I will tell you, probably in the private, given the state of things, others out there, if you've got an alternative remedy, Gemstone and Ucadia and everybody else, and Franco Collins and Romley Stewart and all the others, There's a lot, isn't there? There's not a lot of this, not a lot. I'm going to check your comments. We're going to get the business done. Mother of 3 grown men. I once asked a mother whose newborn was going to be circumcised, if you love your child, why are you mutilating him? Why cut it short before it can grow? And then we get the vampire slayer. Change that name, brother, please. But back to sister about that. If the Creator's created you and He's created you perfect in His image, then why would you want to change it? The is in the States, okay, a German religion at Liverpool. German, like the Vril. What? Shh, don't mention the Vril. Right, so any... oh, look, so I'm working my way up. Sorry, this was in reverse. Yes, it does. Disgusting, and thank you, Lux. Yep, indeedy. Thank you for the Italian grammar. Bella, bella. Prego, John, prego. Slayer's smiling at Lux. Okay, okay. What's going on? He's bringing some smiles. Love you, sliced bread. Oh, that's you're welcome. Not a problem. Thank you. Thank you for joining again. That means that you must have had a good time yesterday. Yes, you must have found something there, Slayer. All right, we're going to work with this scribe family member as we do. Thank you. Let us know. Give me your honest feedback. Yes, don't hold any punches. Let us know what you think. All right, how you are. I'd like some news though. Concerns. This is called a remedy club. All right, I've not given many out. I think I'm on number 5, and you hardcore scribes are pretty much well, armored up, if you like there. So I would like you to share this. Tell your fam, I want a challenge, all right? I want to see where the chinks are in my armour. I'm not being arrogant and I'm not being a know-it-all. I just want to come out now and say, I'm here to help while I'm looking and applying for mundane servitude jobs at the minimum wage, so I can just not be too occupied, but get some liquidity in and help the Queen stay afloat, help me put energy in the van and move around as I need to, and then keep focused on the end goal whilst doing this. So yes, I want to help. I want to put my time into the community. I want to get in the community. I want to set some community trusts up, some private community trusts where you can put your community property in and it's locked off. You've got some benefactors in the community, or anybody with bits of land, or you live in a village and you like to lock it down and put it in a village community trust, a city community trust, then let's do it. What are we waiting for? Why has it not been done? Why do you not know about trusts? Why wasn't you taught about money and trusts at school? Why? They tell you about religion, tell you about many other things, they bring the officers in and tell you about drugs, but they don't tell you nothing else. Here's an officer in black, don't take drugs, he will get you. That's what you get told, isn't it? actual endorsements. So yeah, the community would be a great place to start. Starting to strengthen and working out, and I'm willing to travel. I have time to travel, and we've proven ourselves. We'd like to do come and say fist bumps, hugs. Disabled would be a priority. If you've got anybody that's disabled, anybody that's got, let me think now, an affliction of some kind, less able, ex-soldiers, you know, things like this, you know, we'd have to work and sort this out, connect you all up as a landmass. Jod's going to go find Egyptian symbolism. Nice one. We need to be entitled with our correct capacity, then all shall be well. Good day, my brother. How are we doing? 10:15 on this Tuesday. Just doing a quick Remedy Club update, the Artful Dodger. I've just compared you to Tributaka Smithy. Hello there. I was on about Monkey Magic and the remakes of them films. My brain, I am like the court jester. I am like the clown. The chimp, which would come to monkey mind, as me and Greg was talking about on my scattiness energy, training the monkey within. My t-shirt with the monkey and the crown prince monkey, and then yeah, I was saying that these films are, you know, on the quest, tribulations, monkey himself protecting the great one who was going for the scriptures. That would be Tributaka. I know you know what I'm on about, Smithy. And I says, don't let Andy find out. I've just compared him to Tributaka, or those onions that make you cry might be shown my way. So did somebody whisper in your shell like my son? I'm sorry, it was an accident, and I know you love me. Brother, Tributaka. Andy's dropped in. He's spinning the wheels. I will do. I'll give you a bell, my man. Happy morning to you of this October, the Tuesday 15th. Yes, have a great day, Lux. Energies to all. Great days to you. I'll be on the emails and they'll all be answered today. I swear on my very bones. Give me an hour, I'll rattle through them. What else have we got? We got 15 minutes left. Okay, so for the you know, the hardcore usual suspects here, please put me on your profiles. Invite your family, your loved ones to come and meet your brother David. And if they've got a question that they're not able to answer, or they're confused about, or they've ever had a question that they've never found an answer to, I might be the man to pose that question to. And if I can't answer it, I'll be back with an answer the next cast. All right, so that's my pledge and promise. There's no legal advice. You would need someone else for that, not me. It's just a chat. And to promote the .com, to promote trust and equity, and the reasons why we don't know about trust and equity, because it kicks ass for the Lord. You are the Lord's. I am your servant, your humble court monkey jester. All right, and I'm looking to protect. What else have we got? What are you all doing? Has anybody got any jobs you want me to do? Can do mechanics, can do painting, can do groundwork. We can do trust and equity. As you can see, we can do hydrogen, we can do silver water, copper water, energy, health, wealth. We've got some excellent body experts in the realm of health and wealth. I'm very, very overwhelmed with your skill set, your knowledge and your sciences. Very, very astute. Yanka told me yesterday when I said I am something master. We have a little joke in this house where Anne-Marie does the bins and stuff, and she has her way of doing the bins, and she likes the wheelie bin, you know, men just throwing things around and bags splitting and juice coming out and bits just throwing it. Yeah, that's me. And she doesn't like that, so she's bin master. That's what I've assigned the queen there, my queen, and bin master. And you know, I said something to Yankee yesterday, and I said that's because I am, you know, TV master, whatever. You know, And she says, you're everything master. I went, no, I'm not. That's where you're wrong. I'm trying to be, but nobody is everything master, Yanka. Bless her. Nobody. I said, but I'll get there. We'll try. We'll try. If you can't answer, he'll ask E. Oh, when I heard Matthew in Sheffield say, what did he say? Equity. He said something, and it was just funny how he said it. Equity. Equity. I can't remember what it was now, but we try our best, brother, don't we? We try our best. I've just put myself up for Quinn's decorating. No problem. I've got a portfolio. I've gone into council tower blocks that have been mushrooms growing out of skirting boards. Yeah, wallpaper. You just shout at it and it falls off. And when you scrape the wall, the plaster comes off with the wall. It's that damp. It's been like that for 6 months, and I get it looking spark. Obviously, I can't put the plaster back. I get it all rendered back to cleaned, sanitized. It's a disgusting, horrible, nasty job, mate. Honestly. And I have to, the flats that you do it in, it's a high rise, there's no ventilation, you'll be in a bathroom, it'll be heating on, you'll be stripping paper in a room that's already 40 degrees, roughly, sweating. It's just, I don't miss that work, mate, honestly. I don't. Scratching your knuckle, getting your skin ripped and all that bleach and mould and heat, and, then you've got your paints and your chemicals afterwards once it's dried off, and you've fungicidal washed it and cleaned it, watching out for Artex and hazards and poisons there. It's decorating, yes, that's a lot cleaner, easier, bish bash bosh, and everyone's happy. This mould and damp business, I'd say some of these places need to be blown up. It's gone past the point of when it goes through the plaster and the plaster falls off and it goes into the wall, it's done for. It's rising damp, ritual bathing and bad shoddy old workmanship that are just giving substandard housing conditions, children's bedrooms full of black mould. This sends you in, you spray and paint it, within a matter of months it's back again. It's really bad. These houses are of a standard that's just bad. But Quinn, that's what I'm saying. Private, freelance occupation. No, not occupation, because that's what militaries do. Income, well, it's not really an income, it's an output of my input, which is energy. So input energy, output promises. Yes, very, very interesting. But Quinn, you know how to contact me. Anybody, mechanics, laptops, reading codes, building vans. I'd like to do some coach works. Anybody want a rolling office or moving home? Wow, projects, we could get me, Smithy, a few others, have some land, and we could convert. We have assets to manage with initially to set up. There's options and many various in this commercial admiralty private realm. How can we form real community in this realm like like-minded folks? Are you in the UK? I am on Anglican terra firma. The UK is a trust. It's a paper format. It's only 2-dimensional and it's for citizens. I'm not having a go. So man, David, I'm on Anglo terra firma, and we start with community trusts to begin with. I would argue, propose, give to you. Thank you, Lux. I'm the master baiter, as in fishing hooks and such. Hardy heart. Thank you, Quinn. You are very funny. It's a bird in our garden. John, I'd like to see that. You're like the mad scientist, John. Scientist of words and organics. Well done on you, brother. Well done. Ginger, nice one. Ginger's super. Ginger's really good for you, yeah. And Uncle Jimmy with nettle tea. Go on, lad. Yeah, they are. They're really good, nettles. I've never had them, though. I say they're really good. Matthew in Sheffield's told me about these 4-leaf clover flowers when you get hormonal types for ladies. There's a clover that has a red flower on the clover, and yeah, there's loads of stuff that we cut and throw away and regard as weeds that they are yeah, interesting. You done a decorating for years, all right, Quinn. It's easy, isn't it? I like it. It's not easy at all. It's all right, labour of love sometimes. People expect the Taj Mahal and they want to pay £50. It's like, that don't work out, does it? Or Buckingham Palace, whatever. So what do you need from me? What is it you would like from me? Let's do it this way. What are you waiting for? What do you want? When do you want it? Bear in mind, it's Tuesday. We'll aim for the end of the week. Emails are going to be next. Touching, I've got to stop saying touching base. Where's this come from? Checking in, saying hello to the .com, and I'll look at some more paperwork. Barnster, we'll have a chat with you. I think I've got to nip out. That's it. So I might do a cast later this evening. Tea time again. See what's the flow, what the feel is. Gardening, yep, that's it. Land management, property management. I do like that. Creating a jungle, putting the sweat and tears into it, and sorting out property maintenance, turning it into an effective, productive bit of land, whether it be just to sit and relax in, or to grow and produce. Anything what you turn around, even your own mind, your own life, is a reward and a satisfaction from it. Yes, the corporations are doing it for us instead of us. So is everybody okay? We're going to wrap up soon. There's no questions then. Again, an easy session for me. I want you to put me to the test, kind of, competence, grade me. Let's see how we're going. The aim is protection. It's not arrogance. It's not that I'm here to show you how clever I am. I want to test and see how the fam's doing, what you think about where we're going, where we're at, and all that business. Please check the videos that we've put up recently, and then the documents I'll upload accordingly. I have some of my own works to upload as well, and writings. I've done about 8 so far, and I will update you as we go on through the week. Indeedy. With the feedback from this, I'm quite proud of being able to articulate 100, even 50, pages. Some of you have got the copy, which is about 40 to 70 pages. We're looking at it now. So this layman's self-initiate's guide to trust and equity. I've done my best there. You are invited to go afterwards, and after maybe having a go at creating a deed and a trust and an expression and whatnot, and take that to someone to be checked, and then come back to me to give me the feedback. But before we do that, I will, with Barnster and the Queen there, go through everything and hold their hand, so to speak, so they're happy. This is just a one-off, to make sure that this is all done and everyone's satisfied and happy, and then that it works and it's good. When I say it works, you've already got the fact that it works with the videos that I've brought to you. There is no doubt in my mind, after the discovery and research and what I've brought to you there, studies and case references. I have had the privilege of my mum being at Derby Uni for 12 years, and if you was to search for the fabulous lady that is my mum, Julia, of the Jeremita tribe, you may find some stuff on there relating to Derby Uni and her works and stuff that she did. So I have double checked quite a bit with my dear mum, and she's quite amassed, by some of it. She told me that trust is one of the areas where the college lecturers and the what did she say now, the undergrads or something grads, they very hated it, despised it very much, They avoided it like the plague. It's very perplexing and confusing. It's not very easy. It has a lot of areas of which are contested, and don't always see eye to eye, which is why you have the flexibility of the equitable maxims to govern that, and the three certainties. And I've tried to be as verbatim as I can, and I've already said thank you to a brother as Richard Ansar, who's primarily my entry into the triangle world window. Today, children, we're going not through the round boat window, but we're going to the triangle window. And everybody was like, whoa, we're only used to circles. Triangles are a bit different. What we going? Richard says, come on, and here we are. So it's there, it's relevant, and we've tested quite a lot of it. It's apparent, and trust entrusted itself. Fantastic that how it's been and where it's been, and what we now can see the the possibilities with, and the fact that it's been there all these years under our noses, and not at one point has somebody come up and said, have you considered this? And we've had to fight it, champion it, bring it up, argue it, defend it, and it doesn't need any of that, because those that come in and see quickly don't need convincing anymore. So that's your call to make. We're very, very happy. Ultimately, there are many realms though for you to separate from: religious, financial, political. We have faith. All right, my religion is none. They're all gone in the bin. There is just the faith. The faith is Hermeticism with a Christ-like consciousness. Pontius Pilate couldn't, condemn Jesus, the fictional, as I say, historical, because of cross of fiction and events and so forth. That's my opinion. I don't expect you to follow. And he couldn't condemn the man, so he ended up crucifying him with the clean hands doctrine. So the concept of Christ, Buddha, and all these others. I said Muhammad, peace be upon him, the prophet. I'm aware of them all, and they're very good. You can't knock them. The incentive and the bottom line, no matter which one you are, Vedic, Rig Veda, all of this, fantastic. Ultimately, control mechanisms, fear and whatnot, but the basic fundamentals, as Brother Carlin said, it's a great, fantastic idea. Christianity. When do we start practicing in it? So. It's something there. It's a gateway. It's a remedy in this war. As we see it, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the correct way for everybody to go, but it's one of the most cleanest and honourable, and it does do a great many things when you present it and look at it in the grand scheme. So you look at it as way you want, but it is making sense and it's dropping into place. Fantastic, the time, the year, the political instability, the financial, the overall realm time, 2020 vision. I'm very happy that we are able to see this now, and we will do our unborn lineage justice, and we will do it honor, and we will reclaim, via voices, invoices, and we will be heard. We will invoice the commercial realm and let it know that we reclaim. And we will manage the credit from now on, as there is no credit when it doesn't, when they manage it. So, right, thank you. Yes, it's a long time coming. No violence, no blood, no heartache. I'm skimming for your questions and updates. I've got to Nettles at Lux. I live on the line directly to an Abbey in North Scotland. It's been active here. All right, nice one. Good on you, sister. Are all countries white, red and blue flags owned, or Commonwealths, or the monarchy? I can't answer that. I'm not a flag master, admiralty master. I know what they mean. I would argue that that could be a correlation. I would only be surmising, so I cannot answer that one, Vampire. I know about the crosses and the symbols and the things in them, but good point. You look at Australia, look at America, look at England, look at New Zealand. I would say that it's indicative, but not ultimately. It's the symbology. The colours are relevant, so colours, symbols, a bit like the coat of arms. your crest and so forth. You know, they need to be unique. Colours do represent, but Roman calendar months still 1-2 part difference. Easy, Quinn. All right. Oh, you're saying that there's comments coming in, but it's not you. Okay. All right. Okay, we're all good. 30 months, 28 days. Yes, say John then, Slayer. Look at the calendar of Enoch as well and have a look at that one. It is a Gregorian fast. I'm two triangles, a pure square man, lazy boy researcher. You got a nice chair to sit in. I like that. I'm following that screen name. I like that. All right then. Have you ever tried squaring a circle though, lazy boy? Well, you got your square, circle, and triangle. Let me know. Unique administrative remedy process. That could mean anything there, couldn't it? But I think you mean the remedy for the birth certificate assumption and presumption. I need more details there. We're looking at closing at any minute, but I will endeavour to enlighten you in some way. You know. That is the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? We're looking at that at the minute. So unique, how does one make a claim using one's own administrative remedy? If you look at splspro.com, my videos over the weekend, and the outlay of information, you will be able to work that out. I'd look at the 1925 Law of Property Act, the Land Charges Register, the Doomsday Book going back to 66, Wild Battle of Hastings. You've got land tenure, herediments, different types of land, equity, titles in equity. It's a big question, that, mate. I'm sorry, I can't just answer that. How does one? That has been going on since the Romans handed this technology of trust to us, 2,000 years ago. So forgive me whilst I take my time and dot my I's and cross my T's. It's been thousands of years, hundreds, of this continuum. It's not something that I can just bring to you in a sentence or two. It's rather complex. It will require pages of text for you to take and understand. It's not something that would be given away on YouTube in the public after, compensation would be required, because the man that effectively does this, is normally signed to a non-disclosure agreement and whatnot. When you make the peaceful, call truce, battle over, it's game over. So, you've got to be careful about this. I believe that's what you're on about. You have been a bit vague. And then if I was to have worked that out, and then you just to pop up and say, yeah, then let's have your 10 years worth of research and let us know. I'm not going to ask you for thousands of pounds. What we're going to do is do it, as we see fit, as we wish, as we require. I'll see you on the .com or somewhere in an email, I dare say. Just type in what you're looking for and it should be a thing. Playlist probably later today. Nice one, looks. Thank you. Nana's in the house. Hello, sister. How are we doing? I love the colours of the flag are from the houses of Egypt, and the red Quingo, red house, blue house, and so on. And the houses that came Billy, blue hat, Johnny, yellow hat. Aye, all these colours, again. All right, that makes sense. Nice, nice. How can we refuse to pay property tax and not be ejected or penalised for lack of contribution? Because you get exemplified. So your status, as Andy said earlier, with the status correction capacity, as we view it, you would be exempt from that because of your, informing and appointing of and correcting. So it's about the correction, status correction of the beneficiary, trustee, grantor, settlor, grantor. So it's not too far stretched. Communicating with higher powers of government, I'd say, Slayer, initially, but stand by. Unique's giving me a fist bump. Much love. You get that? You feeling me, fam? Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you are because that's the only way. What have you got for us? Any tips? Have you got anything for me that might help? I'm giving to you. You don't have to give to me. It's just thought I'd ask. I'll check your channel later, see what videos you've got up and what your output is as well, what your diligence and research is. Easy. We're closing down, everyone, all right? Closing down, 1 hour and 4. Okay, I'm getting good, aren't I, with my times? And we will say chin chin chiroo, and I will say peace and love to you. Back later, maybe tea time again. I'm eager to get into communities. I'm going to be working away. I feel quite isolated. You know, I'm preparing to go and say hello to an agency and chomp down. Maybe doing some fork truck driving, moving commercial with indemnification and you know, no liabilities obviously, but it's like that. You see, you go and fill in an application form for a job in the commercial sector. What do? Black ink, capital letters, hello, dead, and legal entity. So you're putting your person's name into an application form. You are submitting an application, which means the man's rights have gone. You signed the application that you've submitted to the corporation to become an employee under their policy and rules, not law, their corporate rules. Yeah, when you're late, when you get disciplined, when you haven't worked fast enough, when your KPI is under, you know, things like that. You've been to the toilet too many times, and now they're asking you, you're like, well, it's my human right to go. No, I'm sorry, you can't go to the toilet more than twice in a shift. What? No, I'm sorry. You can go in the morning, you can go in the afternoon. You have a dinner break, you have a lunch break. There's 4 chances to go to the toilet. That's enough. Ah, well, I've got problem. It doesn't matter. You know, who are you to tell me that? Oh, you signed and submitted. Now I'm your overlord. Overlord, are you? Okay, you're an overlord. That's what they seem to think. People in the managerial position, you know, they were quiet and humble and nice as pie when they was working next to you on the front line as a pawn. The moment they get moved up a rank on the chessboard of the you know, and they get up to the second rank above the pawn, which would be, I don't play chess, sorry, that's something I know little of. Perhaps I should do, but there we go. The pawn, one up from the pawn, the rook or something, is it? I hazard a guess. And as soon as they get to the rook-like status, they be turning into a little Hitler, and you're like, hang on a minute, Jobsworth, we were best of mates last week, now we're enemies, and you've got the vest, you know. So it's not very good how it works and what happens. There's the sin part, all right, the sinfulness of it. We have it provided, and if you don't believe it's provided, you go and submit and do that. But I believe and I know. So the force is liquidity. I'm sorry, that's all I can say. Rock in a hard place, yes. It's not like the Creator, I believe, keeps a list of all sins. I believe He will be aware. Whatever will be aware, and then come the time of, your actions will outweigh possibly the sins that you may have done, your intent. So it's not game over, but you know, it's a conflict. We would call this a covenant. Okay, so you have a covenant somewhere, and religious and covenants allows you to step out of if you can prove. So to the user that said unique, ears up, unique. All right, covenants, values, beliefs. That's right, Andy. Indeed, symbolic text like that. Bosh. Yeah, there is a Discord. I've got locked out of it. I've got to get back in. I set it up and it won't let me back in. I'll fix that later and say hello. I'll post the links for you on the .com and places. Chin chin. Yes, Andy. Much love. Then we've done an hour and 8. I'll be back later or tomorrow. And then back to the Slayer. How can we refuse? I just realised you said refuse. It's not about using or re-F use to pay property tax. It's about the charges that brought, and as I've said about money and so forth, and debt and insolvency and intrinsic. then when you get a charge, you really should be discharging it to keep honour and the national debt to go down. And when you use the Federal Reserve for the states, private bank here, England, Bank of England, London, City notes, and we print and use them, and we use them to pay the charges, you're using a different pot, all right, which is the public debt pot, to get that sweat equity, credit, notes, coins, credit card, overdrafts and so forth to pay those charges. So you've used a national debt currency, not money, to pay off a charge. Well, really, in the scheme of things, a charge should be discharged, but they haven't educated us in that way. So instead of discharging, we are effectively nullifying the charge with sweat equity and credits, and that's where it's wrong. So a little bit of a change there, and all it would take under the billing system would be to give in a bill. That's all we're going to ask for, and that would sort that out. Stop charging the dead and bringing us back to life via the charge and this necromancy of random occult secret, not black magic, just occult kept hidden. It's no longer hidden. So we're grateful for that, all right? And that's simplicity in itself. Anybody in the financial sector should understand that and to be able to validate, such as Professor Richard Werner, who's done that on Renegade Inc. on RT News. From the horse's mouth. You're welcome. Hello. Who's that? Sister Catherine. Horse VS. See it now, brother. Welcome, Quinn. Nay, lad. That's what is horseplay. Name is an anagram of maim. Yes, Andy, indeed. We have a debased language. I want to find others that don't know as much as us. I want ones that are in trouble, that may have repayments and so forth, and threats and demands, and community, social, administrative, remedy process issues like with the academies and whatnot. Then health and wealth in general, bring it to me. And I'm going away now to do my duties, and I will see you later. Much love to each and every one, and I need some food. Ciao, Bella. Much love.